Norm with Selena Hill on Black Enterprise. Today, I'm super excited to speak with actress and activist Gabrielle Union and esteemed celebrity hairstylist Larry Sims. Together, they relaunched the hair care line Flawless by Gabrielle Union. Gabrielle, you originally launched this line in 2017. What was the inspiration behind the line back then?
At the time it was an amazing opportunity that was presented to me to be the face of, my own hairline. And it sounded amazing. And I was going to be able to provide great products. But the thing about the 2017 version is it was only Black fronted. It was not Black led, and it was certainly not Black owned. We had great products, but the price was really, really, really high. And we were selling at a place that is not in all of our communities. So there was a disconnect between having really expensive products not sold in stores that are in most Black and brown communities, and it not being Black owned. So as soon as that deal ended, I was committed to wrestling back control of the company, making sure that it was Black owned, Black led, Black marketed, and it really centered the needs and voices of Black women specifically.
Now, Larry, back in 2017, you helped Gabrielle revive and restore her hair. You talked about, Gabrielle, how you suffered from hair loss after the IVF treatments. What exactly did you do? And also, how did you become part of this brand and then a part owner of Flawless?
Yeah, thank you. Well, it was a very traumatic experience, obviously, for both Gabrielle and me. I felt like it was my hair that was falling out. We were working on Being Mary Jane during the time, and I remember us having to be bound by wigs, and to see one of the most beautiful actresses in the world lose her hair, and that's in front of cameras. It was just a very, very, very emotional experience. So I made it my mission, to make a long story short. We both made it our mission to try to figure out a way to grow her hair back. We tried every single thing that you could think of. Anything that they said that worked on Instagram, we were like, order 5. But it wasn't until we actually started to play with natural ingredients that we saw results. I did some research, she was doing research. We came up together like mad scientists, and the biotin, the rice oil, the rice water, the creatine, the curry butters, a lot of the oils that we have in Flawless, they all as a combination just worked. And when Gab was discussing revamping Flawless and making it Black owned and wanted to lead it, she had the opportunity to bring me on, and she offered, generously ownership, a thing in which I had never been offered in my career. And I've been, partners with many different brands throughout my career. And it took one of my best friends to bring me on, brought me out of those deals and brought me on and made me an owner. So the skin is different when you're in the game in that way.
Absolutely. So let's talk about this new collection. You guys rolled it out at the beginning of August. What is different about Flawless 2020 in comparison to Flawless 2017?
The ingredients. The ingredients. We really leaned into innovation and then our own experimentation, and between the two, figured out what combination of ingredients worked for our ingredient story. We took out the silicones, the parabens, and the sulfates. We were committed to educating about why those things are no longer in our products, and educating our consumers about some of the more harmful effects of those things, and explaining why these new ingredients are so much better for us and the environment, and they're effective and they work. And then we lowered the price point. Like it actually makes you a jerk if you figure out a solution, but then you price everybody out of that solution. So we wanted to make sure that our products that are amazing were actually affordable. So we lower the price points. Everything is between $4 and $10. And then Amazon is literally everywhere. We wanted to make sure, especially during COVID, where most people are shopping online, that they were able to get their hands on these products. And then for our brick and mortar, which will launch October 1st, we've partnered with Sally's Beauty. And we specifically chose Sally's Beauty because they are in our communities. They have been in our communities. And they welcome our dollars without demonizing our customers.
I'm so happy you brought up the price point because, as you said, these products are $10 and below. Huge difference than the first time around. How was it that you were able to preserve the quality but still lower the price point?
Cutting into the profit margin.
Yeah.
Like, we're not doing this to line our pockets. We're doing this because we figured out a solution to many problems that textured women are facing. And we do okay in our regular day jobs. And it was important that we make these prices truly, much more affordable than they had been. Like I said, we're just kind of both committed to not being jerks and jackasses. And we just wanted to make sure that our own family members could afford our products. And the way that it was in 2017, if we weren't offering freebies, my own family couldn't afford it. So that was a problem. But I was not in control. So as much as I, raised my hand and said, hey, this is what I'd like to do, at the end of the day, if you are not majority Black owned or a Black owned company, your voice is about as big as your equity piece.
Yeah, and I'm really happy to hear that, especially for natural or women like me, or actually I'm transitioning. So the affordability is such a big component to it. But, Gabrielle, when it comes back to 2017, so when you launched the company, were you approached by a major company and then you were just asked to be the face of the brand? And then now it sounds like you have majority ownership, and it sounds like you two, is it 51-49 or?
Oh no, we're between the two of us, we make up the majority. We put ourselves way over the 51% threshold. But before, I was the lone Black person that had any personal stake in Flawless 2017. I was nowhere close to 50%, much less 51% or big or higher. I had a small percentage. And if you don't quite understand how all of the deals can work, not what's out there, because that's actually pretty typical, but how the deals can work. You think you're getting you think this is like, an amazing situation. You think, oh my gosh, my name is on it. They've got to listen to me. And actually they don't.
Wow. Well, I want to talk about, other Black businesses, because not only was it important for this to be a Black business, but I understand you have an initiative, Lift as We Climb, to help other Black businesses. So can you talk about that initiative?
Yeah. What we're seeing and what all the statistics and studies are showing is that by the end of this pandemic, we will have lost 50% of Black-owned businesses. Black-owned businesses provide minimum 1 million jobs to Black people a year. And we wanted to do our part to try to reach as many Black-owned businesses and highlight them, amplify those businesses on our Flawless pages, on our personal pages, and share our space on Amazon with those companies. Because it is to me pointless, and to Larry and I, it is pointless to rise if you're rising by yourself. Mm-hmm. I am uninterested in that. So it's a lift as we climb. So as we open one door, we are grabbing as many people as we can, through the door and trying to lift. We also partnered with the Black Women's Health Imperative. It's the only national nonprofit that specifically targets the health and wellness of Black women and girls. We are just going to try to do as much as we can. As we all know, that marginalized communities are most impacted by this pandemic, and we're just trying to do everything that we can to do our part to try to rectify some of this adversity that our community is facing.
And Larry, you working directly in the hair industry, how do you see Black hair salons and those who own it? How are they coping with COVID-19? And what advice would you give? Because everyone's trying to pivot, but if they work in this industry, what advice, what should they be doing now?
Yeah, I think that a lot of salon owners definitely, and freelance hairstylists, people that do what I do for a living, that don't have deals the way that I have a deal with Flawless. It's just hard to sustain. And, you know, a lot of people have gone out for the grants and have gone out for unemployment and have tried their best to just hold on. And, you know, one thing that I do know as a creative is that what we do is we make people feel amazing. And as soon as people have the opportunity to have access to our gifts, then I think that they will be knocking on our doors and calling our phones. So to other hairstylists, I would just say to hold on, you know, as long as you can, you know, because we need you, our communities need you. You know, like what Gab said in terms of the initiatives that we are a part of, one person that we are celebrating and uplifting is Felicia Leatherwood. She's a celebrity hairstylist. We've included her natural hair brush in our packaging in terms of what we're giving out to our communities and to, you know, our celebrity friends, just to shine a light on her business, because we want her to shine as well. And if we can find opportunities to continue to incorporate other artists, you know, I think that would help the community in a much larger scale.
Yeah, and we want to encourage other. We want to encourage other Black-owned companies to do the same.
Absolutely.
You know, it doesn't take a lot to share your light, and it in no way dims yours. So hopefully other people, you know, pick up on this initiative and implement it in their business plan as well. So as we're all trying to claw our way out of this pandemic intact, that you are grabbing as many people as you can and bringing them along with you.
Yeah.
Speaking of business plans, you guys are business partners, but outside of that, you're real life friends. I heard you once say best friends. You know, there's like a little stigma. A lot of people say don't do business with family, or, you know, don't jeopardize your friendship by going into business. How are you guys making it work? And what advice would you give anyone who is considering going into business with a family member or a friend?
Well, well, I would say we've already crossed that bridge. We've been in business for so long. We've worked with each other. We've known each other for almost 20 years, 15 years, you know, and 20, yeah.
We met on Bring It On.
We met on Bring It On.
Oh my God, together. My favorite.
But we met.
Yeah, we met on Bring It On, and I think that it's the best thing that I could have ever done for myself in my career. And there's no better feeling than going to work with somebody that you love and respect. And that's the difference. When you have a level of respect and admiration for the tone of who they are, for their morality, their moral, I think that, you know, I struck gold with this one over here. So. Yeah. Do it with passion.
Yeah, you know, it gets real tricky. It's a little tricky with family and with friends, but it's not with Larry. And part of that is because of our shared commitment to the community and what we're doing with this project. And if it was all about lining our pockets and increasing the profit margins and how to, you know, gouge, you're going into business with a different mindset. But when you're going into business and it's all love and it's about the upliftment of our community and providing opportunity and resources to more of us, it's a little different than if this was my only job or source of income, or Larry's only source of income. But you have to be in alignment with, you know, they say my body and soul, but your morals and your values and how you think of business and your definitions of success, your definitions of sharing, your definitions of accountability. You have to be in alignment, and you have to have those discussions well ahead of time, because otherwise you're going to find yourself midstream and usually in success. When people feel like, well, that's my success. You only did this much, and you start trying to quantify the contribution. And the reality is, if we all go into business together, this is what it is. Let's be real clear about our goals, and we have to be real clear that no matter whether this swims or sinks, our foundation as human beings does not change, because you start to see people get a little tricky. When it's time to write the check or give it up or give up credit where it's due, like, people get real tricky and egos get involved. But at this stage of our careers, we've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, and we're no longer interested. And it's just really about more of us.
Giving back and pouring into the community. And Gabrielle, we love your 1-year-old daughter. She's been rocking her curls. She is literally the mood of 2020. Like, she gives us life. What do you want your young daughter to know and feel about her hair? Because the reality is, us as Black women, we don't always grow up loving our hair. It's always something to do. It's always a process. You got to get your hair done because it doesn't look right. What do you want her to feel?
Well, first I had to start unlearning some of the patriarchal, misogynistic, anti-Black ideologies that have kind of like permeated a lot of our thoughts and decisions around our hair as Black women. I refuse to pass that on to Kav and Zaya. I want them to be real sticklers for healthy hair, but how they present themselves in the world is going to be a personal choice. Well, for Kav, it's, she literally will be like, here, and she'll hand me a brush on the day she wants, to match mommy, or she wants a little ponytail or whatever. And then there's days where she's just like, after you get the leave-in and then the curl cream, she's like, I'm good. Let me do what I do. Let it do what it do. And I don't want to give her a complex about how she needs to be presentable to anyone. Because however we present, if you want to present exactly how your hair grows out of your head, however that is, beautiful, amazing. I'll be more upset if she commits to split ends. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't want either of my girls to feel like their worth or their value is tied into how they present and who out there is giving them attention. I want them to be happy within, and then make whatever personal choice they want to make about how they present to the world and how they move through the world. That's all just a personal choice.
And what a wonderful example. You know what I mean? Like, it's so amazing to me that even though she's such a great friend of mine, to watch her as a parent and instill those values in people that give some people that don't have it complexes for their lives about their appearance. So, I just always applaud her for instilling those contributions to her children.
Yeah. I mean, and you see the comments, and people are like, how come your hair is always done? And Kav's hair is, her curls are everywhere. I'm like, and guess what? She's still smart. She's still amazing. She still has followers who love her, to just see her exactly as she is. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to start the, her Instagram page. I shared her with the world because people had been a part of my heartbreak for many years. And once she arrived, she was just such a blessing. And she represented so much hope to so many people who had been without hope. But I didn't want to have to qualify her presence with like all these expensive clothes or her hair done, perfectly every single day. I wanted her to be able to be a little Black girl that exists as she feels like it from birth. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If you love her, you love her because of her personality, not because of what she has on or not because of, what her hair looks like. And if we can start this when they're babies and, and keep that going, we're addressing some of the issues that have been around and plaguing Black women for centuries, and has been a different kind of bondage. I don't ever want my kids to feel like they have to look a certain way in order for the rest of the world to catch up to their brilliance or their capabilities.
And that's beautiful, Gabrielle, but I feel like this is a much different conversation than we were having back in 2012. And as you were talking about the beauty of your daughter, I couldn't help but think about when Blue Ivy was that age. And it was a different conversation, especially in our community. And it was, you know, you heard those comments, well, her hair isn't done. And, you know, Beyonce doubled down. She said, I like my baby's hair with baby hair and afros. And that's the trend. Larry, how do you feel and how do you see the evolution of Black girls' hair just manifesting in pop culture and in time?
Yeah, I don't think that I've ever seen the diversity in choices that I see today. I love how people are celebrating what has been born, what they've been born with. You know, I think culturally we've been taught to fight against those curls, fight against that texture, tame it, make it pretty, make it presentable. And I just love the fact that people are saying, you know what, this is my presentable. Take it or leave it. Respect it, celebrate it. Even in fashion, you know, I'm seeing like a lot of runways and a lot of the covers that we do. Things are being celebrated in terms of things that aren't perfect and things that are undone. And I just love the evolution of where we are today.
Okay, well, we'll have to leave it there because I know you two have very busy schedules. But thank you so much for this line, this product, your commitment to the community and just educating us. It really goes a long way, a very long way.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And I want to make sure that we shout out the first 4 companies that we are including in our lift as we climb. Minted Cosmetics, yes. Honey Pot. They tried it with Honey Pot. They keep winning. Vegan Smart and True Color Bandages.
Band-Aids, yes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much and best of luck with everything.
No, thank you
for your time. Thank you.